What is up, party people? You know I always start this show off by showing love to those companies who help make this podcast possible. Guys, Bluon is at it again. If you guys have not heard, Bluon has dropped the 2.0, and they literally did listen to everyone's feedback. They already had an amazing app with all the additions they put in as far as ordering parts, etc., all that stuff. Me talking to them, several other people talking to them, saying, hey, we need to make it a little bit more simpler. It's too many clicks. They went back to the drawing board. Something they already had that was good, they went back to the drawing board and they simplify it to make it so it is so very simple. And to celebrate this launch, you guys know that Bluon gives away some amazing swag. They have these new limited edition hats. So if you go to the Bluon app, I need you to update your app first and foremost. Update it. Make sure it says Bluon 2.0. I want you to go into the model numbers, and I want you to put in this part number. I will put it in the chat. Rookie, if you're listening, if you could put this in the chat for me, it would be great. It's all caps. It's going to be model number GSX HAT 4, the number 4, U. GSX hat for you. You'll literally see a hat pop up, keep going through with the order, and you will get your hat, man. There's only 30,000 hats available. There's literally like 150,000 people in the Bluon community, not counting everybody else. So go do it immediately. GSX HAT, the number 4, U. Put that in the model number. You'll see it on top as the first part. Click on it. Go through the process, see how simple it is to order something. It's amazing what they did, letting you get a free hat this way and seeing how easy it is to order something. Get your free merch and support Bluon because they are upgrading the HVAC industry. Next. Guys, my friends over at FIELDPULSE, they have a young crowd over there that is really trying to get their name in the game, and I think they offer a really awesome CRM. They really do. What they're doing for people, they've won awards for customer service. And I'll be honest, I know there's a lot of big boys out there that you hear their name, and I get it, but not everybody can afford those big boys. You want the features, but you don't want to pay that monthly subscription that comes with, thousands of dollars and all that kind of stuff. Well, I have to say, man, FIELDPULSE is offering that. I'm always completely open and honest with you guys. We do not use them at Beltway, but I've had a demo account ever since I've started messing with them. I'm going to make some videos of me using it, and I literally mess with this thing all the time. I make fake calls. I got a whole fake company that I'm running here. It's really neat. I actually really like some of the stuff they're doing. I've used my code, so if you click the link, it should be in the bio of this all the way at the bottom for FieldPiece. If you click that link and you go, they're going to give you 25% off an annual prescription, and then they're going to give you 10% off the monthly subscription. So if you do it annually, 25%. If you do it monthly, they'll give you 10%. This is only good for May. They're changing it every month. So if you're interested in it, if you're not small business owner, whatever it is, and you're not liking what you're currently using, please go check out FIELDPULSE. My friends over at CompanyCam. Guys, CompanyCam has their blueprint event that actually one of them should be going on right now. So I was supposed to be in Denver and all these other places, but I didn't go. God damn it. Anyway, if you go to companycam.com/blueprint, you can see the events, or you can also just watch them online. It is very good if you're trying to up your game, if you're in the trades. All kind of amazing guest speakers, different workshops that you can even participate in online. It's definitely something really good to check out. CompanyCam is an amazing service that I didn't even know you needed until I started messing with it. Organizing your photos, your videos, putting them in a thing that keeps track of them and organizes them, and it covers your ass, man. We all know how it is working in the field. You have to cover your ass, whether you're in commercial, industrial, residential, with the things that you do, the things that you say. Somebody comes back, you have a video or a picture that is, time-stamped, it's dated, exactly when you were there, exactly when you took these photos, before and after, whatever it may be. This keeps it all nice and organized for you. Not to mention, it helps your photos go on your Google search, your GSLA. Pictures pop up when people are searching HVAC near me and they search images. Your photos are going to pop up. Obviously, you can pick which ones do that. so you don't have some shitty job. Hopefully you don't have too many of them, but they will pop up and customers can see your work and say, hey, I want these people to do my job. So only good things. Remember, you can go to CompanyCam.com/HVAC Uncensored and you get 50% off your first 2 months. Check out CompanyCam. All right, enough paying the bills. Let's move on. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. God bless the United States, and thank you to all those men and women who defend it.
Five, four, three, two, one, go. Welcome to the #1 rated HVAC podcast. If you're looking to grow in the HVAC industry, then you're in the right spot. Blue collar people talking about blue collar shit. Let's get better together. So turn up the volume, buckle your seatbelt, and let's welcome your host, Gil KV Jr.
What is up, everybody? Welcome back to the HVAC Uncensored Podcast. I'm your host, Gil KV Jr. Another Wednesday night. Hopefully some people start coming in. I know I had those 2 weeks where I took off and it kind of messes people up. And one thing about these podcasts, man, you got to be consistent. So that's on me. Thank God the audio downloads have not taken a hit. So thank all of you for being here this Wednesday. Hopefully some more of us come in. I appreciate you guys. So hello to Mr. Rookie, Mr. Jason Johnson, Mr. C. Young. What is up, my man? And then Mr. Adrian, Reliable HVACR. What is up, guys? How are you? Another good show tonight, man. This is a guest that I had on recently, and we had so many things to talk about, man. When me and him were talking on the phone, it was like, you got to come back, because it was just so much happening. And as we know, an hour flies by fast. So I wanted to get him back on, get on here and talk about some more stuff that they're doing. And just the whole topic in general is a good topic to have. I think everybody has an opinion on this topic, whether it's good, bad, or ugly. But it just shows that we're passionate about what we do. We're passionate about our trade, and we're passionate about the next generation that is to come. So without further ado, guys, help me welcome Mr. AKA Pork Chop, Mr. Jimmy Hesbach, HVAC teacher. Well, what's up, my man? Well, first, all of you in here, I'm pretty sure you guys remember the last episode with Jimmy teaching at the school in Virginia. We did the walkthrough and all that. So how are the guys doing now in school? How's it going? I know you got some new tools for them. So what's up? What's the update at school? Awesome. Fuck yeah, that's badass. That's badass, man. And you got to have nice new stuff. I mean, and let's be honest. So I get it that, the tools don't make the tradesmen, but most of everybody in here, I think Sam's a little bit newer, but most of that, everybody's in the chat right now and us here. We've been in the trade for a little bit. And do you need certain tools to do your job? No. Are they nice to have? Goddamn right they are. You know what I mean? If you do this every day, it's nice to work with good stuff and cool tools. And when I was still in the field, I used to have a couple of tools that I might only use them twice a year. But you know what? If they made my job easier twice a year, they were worth having on the truck, you know? And plus, it's cool to see kids get pumped up about that, you know? That's awesome. See, now I feel like the old guys. Back in our day, we didn't have these battery powered tools. We had to do it all by hand back in our day. Dude, I got $10,000 sitting back here. How much off time do you have before another gang starts? Oh, nice. You get a little summer break. Awesome, dude. That's awesome shit. Congratulations. Like I said before, man, I mean, I love what that school's doing. I love what your school's doing. I love everything about it. You know, what they're teaching, how they're teaching it, what you guys provide, and then the cost for what they're getting is like absurd. Like we said before, man, not to go down this rabbit hole, but I would like to find that there's more schools out there like that maybe we just don't know about them. But I hope that they're out there doing these kind of things and it's not all the big boys that we hear all the horror stories about. There's got to be more others doing it right. At least I would like to think positive and think that's the case, you know? That's good. Well, it's funny. So I'm going to ask you a question, but I'm going to say this real fast. So we hired a new guy. We stole him from one of the big companies because they were asking him to do unethical things. The guy's a little bit older, but this guy is a fucking steal. We are so happy to have him. Has the communication skills and he knows his shit when it comes technically. He actually was teaching at one of the bigger schools around here. I won't say the name of them. I asked him, I said, so what are the qualifications to be able to teach there? And he was like, 2 years and an EPA certification. I was like, you haven't even got your dick wet being in 2 years. Like, how the hell can you teach somebody else? I was kind of dumbfounded. So, I mean, like, I don't know. Am I wrong? Like, what kind of qualifications, like how much time or what do you have to be able to, teach? Nice. That's badass. And Lord knows I love your tests. The test you made for me, those things have been a fucking godsend. And I guess that makes sense. Like if somebody like goes through the program and graduates with flying colors and then goes in the field for a little bit and comes back, like that makes sense. I guess when I just heard like 2 years, like you didn't have to graduate from that place, just 2 years, I'm like, man, not saying there's not some good the guys that have been in 2 years and might be really, really good. I just feel like for a school that, especially a big school, the standard should be a little bit higher. Nice. Yeah. So I have my Maryland master's license and I'm a master gas fitter. Ryan, who's been on the owner of Beltway, Ryan's got his Maryland, DC, Virginia, Delaware. So it's good for you. See, DC and Virginia reciprocate. Maryland, since Maryland does everything so fucking stupid, they don't. But matter of fact, if you get your Virginias, you can reciprocate and have Maryland, DC, and Virginia by only taking one test. But Maryland's so stupid, you can't do that. We would have to go take the DC test and then we can reciprocate to Virginia. And Delaware was like, and obviously we're probably not going to Delaware. It's just to have it. There, you don't even take a test. It's like a bunch of old white men sitting around a table and like, this guy's worthy, give it to him. Click, and Ryan's the ones that need it. I don't even use my license because I don't have insurance on it because it's Ryan's company. So all the licensing goes through his. I could technically, rent mine out to people, but I did that back in the day when I was a knucklehead and did some stupid stuff. So now I don't do any of that. I don't rent it out to people. I don't need money like that. So I have a story about I dealt one today. Sorry. I dealt one today. I'll talk about it later. Yeah, I was going to say, you can tie them in, but you definitely got to increase the drain size. Yeah, no, that's awesome. And most of the inspectors that I've met, most of them are cool, especially the guys that have been in the trade. They've been in your shoes, man. It's like, hey, man, like, you can't do this, but if I was you, if you run it like this or do this, like, everything will be fine. I'll pass you. It's all good. Or I've seen some say, if they know that we do good work, they'll be like, hey, just fix this. I'm going to pass you. Just when I come back for final, just please make sure it's done. Yeah, no problem, man. You know that. But in Anne Arundel County, everybody knows him, and I'm going to say his name because I don't give a fuck. Ernie. Fucking Ernie. I swear we all think his wife beats him. That's a whole nother story. He's a nice guy. He'll be nice. He just nitpicks the stupidest shit, man. I had to meet him today, and he was saying, he's like, how when you're taking flex and you're making a turn with it, like our guys did it perfect. Like it's not kinked. Like it goes to the wall, it loops around, it looks fucking mint. And he's like, oh, that's kinked. I was like, Ernie, I was like, feel it. I was like, do you feel a kink? He's like, no, it feels good. And then he doesn't say anything. He's like, but I don't like it like that. I'm like, it's not fucking kinked, Ernie. Like it's, I'm like, okay, you want me to cut it out and put a fucking metal elbow in? That's what I'll do. Whatever you want, man. And I thought I was going to be good. And something we normally don't let do because it's under our permit is the contractor did the dryer vent. Well, when they did it, they drilled through floor joists. And they did it too high up top. And he's like, oh, well, that's going to be structural. You can't do that. I get why they did it, though, because if you come down any lower, you're going to go across and then you're going to have to go back up to go outside. Then you got to put in a clean out. Then you're creating a trap. That's not going to work. So we ended up failing. So now we got to figure out what the fuck to do after the place is already closed. And I was like, apparently when we came there the first time, they ran it in like that flexible pipe, which I do think that's dog shit. You got to run it in, hard pipe, tape, no screws. And I was like, okay. I was like, why didn't you say that last time you were here? Like, why did you say, oh, looks good, just redo it in hard pipe? Now you come back and say, oh, it can't be that way. Like, why are we finding this out on final? Like, that's what pisses me off. So, I don't know. And then with the inspections, like, it used to be like I was all fine with inspections because you get inspections and it's like, hey, you know that I'm doing it per code. I got a second set of eyes that is double checking me. Like, nobody can ever come back and say, hey, you didn't do this right. Like, no, man, we did that to the fucking book. That shit was inspected. We did it right. Now around here, it's like, oh, even if you pass inspection, oh, well, we're not liable. You know what I mean? Like, even if you pass inspection and we sign off, it's like, well, then what the fuck are we getting it for? You know what I mean? Like, what is this? Just like money changing hands? Like, I don't know. But I will say most of the inspectors around here that I know, that I've known from my dad, awesome guys. These guys know their shit. Very, very cool dudes. And I love having them as assets. They're literally in my phone. That if something happens, like I called one, he's going to call me back tomorrow about this whole vent. And I said, hey, man, I need your help. I know it's not your county, but if you could tell me what to do with this. And he's like, I got you, buddy. I'm tied up in meetings today. I'll give you a shout tomorrow. So these people are great assets to have. Just sometimes it's fucking frustrating to have those certain guys with, like, it's kind of like cops with a God complex. You got some inspectors like that too. I agree. And we've already talked about they have that bullshit curriculum too, where they have to follow it, whereas you guys can dictate your own curriculum that you think is right for getting the guys out into the field. That has its benefits too. So, sir, I didn't mean to interrupt you, but we talked about that last time. He has a master's in YouTube HVAC. But while you're talking about that, Rookie made a comment that I think that you would like to hear this too. I'll put it back on the screen. Trade schools are good for learning theory, but can't replace hands on training. Well, good schools give you that hands-on training. So that's what we're trying to talk about is a school that only teaches you theory, in my opinion, is not a good school. Yes, you have to learn the theory, but if you don't also learn the hands-on, like when Jimmy and them his school was showing you, they were putting tools in these guys' hands, making them do things, so they were getting the hands-on training. So to me, that's what we're talking about between really good trade schools, okay trade schools, and shitty trade schools is based on the curriculum, what they teach, and having that hands on portion. I'll let you give your opinion on that. You missed this one, Jimmy. Somebody was giving you a thumbs up. Yeah, damn right. And that's awesome that you guys do all that. And like I said, that's one of the differentiators, the separators of courses. So, guys, we get it. Schools can only be so long because guys want to get in the field, they want to make money. But I think that's what makes the good schools is, teaching you the theory at the same time, giving you that ability to do the hands-on, to be able to apply what you're learning. Obviously, when you get done school, you get in the field and you keep doing all that stuff and you keep learning even more. But I really think that does kind of set it apart. You got to see it. Like I remember when I went to school, and I only went because my dad thought it would be good for me. And it was. I definitely had helped with some theory things, even though I had already been in the field for a little bit. But when we took our like electrical parts of HVAC, the normal teacher was like out sick or something. I forget what was happening, but he wasn't there. So we had an electronics teacher teach it. He was like having us take off like resistors and put them back on and all these other things. And I'm thinking, like, we change boards, man. Like, we don't change resistors on the boards. I just felt like it wasn't that it wasn't cool to learn, but I felt like he just went in a little too in depth to stuff that you really didn't need. You know what I mean? We went down a rabbit hole. We could have spent more time learning about amps and other things that you would actually use in the industry versus, taking this resistor off and changing the resistor, because we just don't do that. At least not nowadays. Yeah. I'll be honest. The way I came into the industry, I sucked at ductwork because I started off with my dad in restaurants. So I did all like commercial kitchen equipment, refrigeration, commercial AC, stuff like that, some electrical, plumbing, taking care of a restaurant chain, and then went out and worked for just strictly commercial companies and then backed my way into residential. I didn't really do any duct work. I eventually learned some and I can do it now. I wouldn't even consider myself to be even close to a duck guy. I mean, I'm not a moron, so I can put some things together, but I wish that I would have been better with duck work earlier in my career. Like I got guys that work for me, that work for Beltway, that are installers. They'll knock that shit out. They're just like, oh, and I'm like, oh, nice. I got to sit there and be like, all right. All right, +1, +2, all right. Plus, you know what I mean? I have to think about it, because I'm not confident in my ability to just knock it out because I didn't do it every day. You know what I mean? There's Jennifer. Yep, sorry. Hello, Miss Jennifer. Mhm, mhm, mhm. Nice. Alrighty then. Nice. That's badass, dude. That's a cool story. We have to be careful when we vape. Fucking Adrian's in there saying we're loud. So I guess yeah. There you go. Mine's quiet. He's the one he's got that big fucking muffler over there he's hitting on. Yeah, I was gonna say this one is a little salt nick, but it's actually been helping because I can get stronger nicotine. Yeah, I used to have one like that with those juices, but these I can get like 50 milligrams, and it actually slows down my smoking because obviously you guys know my mom has lung cancer, so I'm trying to slow down smoking as much as I possibly can. So far, so good. We'll see. Mr. Vinny, what's up, my man? I can't wait to see you next week, brother. Vinny's coming to see me. We're going to have Vinny. I'm taking Vinny to the strip club. Well, probably going to go seafood, then strip club. But don't worry. Secretly, Mr. Peter's paying for this. Just don't tell him. Just kidding, man. But I can't wait for you to come, buddy. It's going to be a good time. My whole team is very, very excited for you to come, brother. Yep. That's awesome. Sorry, I had to laugh, man. Fucking Jason Johnson, one of my boys who's always in here, he said, I stopped smoking cigarettes and picked up smoking crack. It's so much better, and I always have extra parts available. That's why when you were talking, I read that and I started fucking laughing because it was so funny. Yeah, it's because you're on the phone, man. Yeah. It should be the same thing, so I'm not sure. I don't really know how it works on your end. I've never been on the other side of this. And then Vinny said, I said, get seafood at a strip club. He said, can't we get it at the same place? I don't know if you want to do that around here, man. Like I said, we're known for seafood, football, and heroin and syphilis. So I'm trying to make sure you leave and don't have mushrooms on your wiener. So we might want to keep those separate. Mm. It's awesome. And that's the way it should be. Like I always say about all these different groups, HVAC Army. And to be honest, that's what I've tried to build HVAC Uncensored. And most of the core of my community is my Facebook group, not so much, just because of the name gets people to act, show their ass. But I think that's awesome. Like I've helped people several times getting different things. People have helped me, especially going through COVID when we couldn't get stuff. It's like, hey, man, I really need this and I can't get it. And it's like, well, no guarantees, but let me see. But that's what we want to build in this community. That's why I always say that I think I'm the newest to the TikTok community, but that's been awesome. But what I've been from the Instagram side, I love it, and I like those two communities and YouTube as well so much better than some of the Facebook platform because it's just you get so much negativity, and I hate it. I just try not to surround myself with that kind of stuff. Amen. mental fortitude. Yeah, no, I agree. We've done well, man. We have a young crop of guys, Hayden and Jimmy, and they're awesome, awesome kids, man. Seeing what they're doing and just see them helping to share their wins with them and seeing them learn and do new things. One of them today, called me and, by just him being honest with the customer and talking with them. And the customer was like, he was like, yeah, you know what, man? He's like, I think, this old 22 system, he's like, I think it's about time I finally want to replace it. And he's like, you're a young guy, but you've been sitting in here being honest with me. You didn't try to bullshit me or, tell me anything. And he's like, can you give me some prices on the new one? And he ended up selling his first, granted, I worked up the estimates for him, but he sold his first system. The customer was so happy and he was pumped. So we have our group thread for the service. It's called our fuck yeah thread. And everybody goes in there and gives them a fuck yeah. It was awesome, man. I like to see them as they exceed in different things, or they're like, hey, I want to change this compressor by myself. Like just seeing them want to do those kind of things, fucking, it's awesome. You know what I mean? Like it's like that proud dad moment. You know what I mean? Nice. And be honest, that's how most of them happen. And the way I teach our techs to communicate is I don't want you to ever bring up replacement, ever. You shouldn't have to. You're not a salesman, you're a fucking technician. I want you to go in there, list everything that you find. I want you to be educated so that everything that you bring up, if they ask a question, you can answer it. And most of the time, that's exactly what happens. Maybe you go out and it is pretty rough and they need a capacitor, a fan motor, the coils are dirty, the blower's dirty. And you're like, hey, really what we like to do is could do, should do, must do. That's the three options we do in every maintenance. Every service call. And sometimes when you get up there and it's like $3,500, the people are like, well, shit, this thing broke down last year. You guys have been here a couple of times. Like, how much is a new one? And a lot of times they'll ask to buy a new one by you just doing your job. You don't have to go in there and be like, well, this thing's 25 years old. You should just replace it. They're like, well, no shit. I didn't call a sales guy. I called a technician. So be a technician. You know what I mean? So it's crazy.
Holy shit!
You would think so, but to be honest, there's a lot of them don't have pressure. It depends on what model it is. It might not have a low pressure switch.
Holy shit.
Yeah, no, that's crazy. But we try to properly train. We have like a service tech Bible that we make them go through. They carry with them exactly how we want them to handle each and every situation, no matter what they find. So there's no gray area. But we find that a lot of other companies that we get called out, they find us online, they'll see our 5-star rating, all this other stuff, and they'll say, hey, I know I have a leak. This company came out and charged up my system. They put this sealant or this dye in there. They told me that that was going to fix it. Then they came back and told me it was going to cost, $2,000 to repair it. Not saying that the company, what they did was bad. They didn't explain it to the customer properly. That's why we have 3 options when it comes to leak searching. It's something proprietary we have. It's kind of trademarked, so I won't put it out there. But that way the customer knows that this is, if it's like under 2 pounds and we just charge it, we're only going to do that once. The next time it's like, hey, we have to take some step to try to find this leak. And then once we find it, then there's going to be additional repairs that could cost up to yada, yada, yada. So that they understand. And a lot of people, if they know that going into it, they won't invest that kind of money. They'll be like, hey, maybe I will replace it. But when people think, oh, I can spend a couple $100, I can get by, and they don't understand what you're saying, it's almost like, kind of entrapment. They don't know what they're getting into and they waste money before it's too late. So it gets crazy. and we're gonna have to close this out soon. We're getting way past on time. But real fast on that topic, some of those, they're just, people don't use them. Like, I let my guys use one, but I only use one that is oil based. We all know the only thing supposed to be in a refrigeration system is oil and refrigerant. And like there's that one like super seal, the clip light stuff. That stuff coagulates when it gets any kind of moisture. I've seen it take out compressors. So I know they say that it seals like, former carry corrosion, like small little leaks and stuff like that. Maybe sometimes it does work, but the one that like we would let the guys use, it says like it's up to 7.5 tons. And I'm like, guys, residential houses, you should only be putting in like a smidge of that. Like, you don't need to put in 7.5 tons worth of fucking stuff, inside of a system. And there's a lot of guys that just misuse it. Another thing is just education. I'll take one of those little tubes and I can use that depending on the size of the system, 2, maybe 3 times if it's like small 2 tons and the system has more than enough in it. I'm not, clogging it up or getting a bunch of junk stuck anywhere. So sometimes they work. Sometimes our jobs are to give the options to a customer and maybe they take the option that we don't necessarily like as a professional, but that's their choice. Yeah, I agree. Yeah, we don't do that either. Has there been one-offs and stuff like that, to try to help people in certain situations? Yes, but we try to not let that be like an everyday thing because normally it doesn't make sense. It's not worth the time you're putting in. It's just not worth it. But fuck, man, we've been going for a good little bit, man. Brother, thank you for coming on as always. I love when you come on. You know this. I love what you're doing with the school and just with the HVAC Army and everything. And I'm so glad that a school like yours exists. I'm glad they're doing that for kids, that they're learning things the right way. I hope throughout this that I get to learn about more schools doing that. But you're definitely leading the way, and I think it's fucking awesome, man. Come see me, my man. I'd be happy to have you. I'm saying this summer, once I finally, just so everybody, all these guys know in the chat, man, once I move into my new house and I get everything done, it'll be sometime this summer. So maybe it'll be like in the fall or I'll have to do it the following year. I am totally building out the studio. Like I'm going full fucking Joe Rogan on it. And we're going to have a big old housewarming party, man. And I'll invite a bunch of you guys down. You're more than welcome to come down and hang out anytime. Just let me know. Nice. That's badass. Well, fucking get her in touch with me, man. I'd love to have her on. Let's talk about what she's doing with her school. Yeah, for sure. So, all right, buddy. Have a good night. I'm gonna close this out. If you want to hang tight for a second, and then we'll get this thing closed out, my man. HVAC chick. There you go. All right, brother, man. Let me close this thing out real fast. Man, thank you guys for coming tonight, man. I appreciate it. Like I said, I'm trying to get back on track, trying to get the new normal. So far, so good. Between, like I said, my mom and then my son's graduation in the state baseball playoffs. They lost the county championship, though, 1-0. I was kind of pissed. My son didn't pitch. They were saving him, which he was kind of frustrated. But what are you going to do? Anyway, thank you guys all for being here. Real fast, I want to say this one more time. I'm even going to make sure you hear me with the megaphone. Guys, Bluon 2.0 is giving away free hats, all right? Need you to go over to the Bluon app and put in model number GSX HAT, the number 4U. GSX hat for you. Get yourself a free hat. At the same time, testing out the ease of use with Bluon's new 2.0. It's absolutely fucking amazing. They knocked it out of the park. Go get yourself a free hat. Let me turn this off. It's kind of annoying. Go get yourself a free hat. Only 30,000 hats to give away. They're going to go fast. There's like 150,000+ people in the Bluon community, not counting everybody else. The part number is in the app. So like I said, Ricky put it in the comments in the chat. Go update your app. Go in, put in that model number, search. You'll see a hat pop up. It's completely free, but you're going to go through the process just as if you were ordering a part. That's their whole point, to show you how easy it is, and then they're going to ship you out your hat. This is going to be limited edition. It's only going to be those dudes that are going to have the hats. So come on, let's be one of those dudes or dudettes. Go get your fucking hat, all right? Guys, remember, be safe out there. We all got somebody to make it home to. We live in a crazy world. Be safe. Keep your head on a swivel, all right? Drive okay. You know, pay attention to what you're doing. Make sure that that breaker's turned off. If you have to pull your meter out to double check the power, so do it. Be safe. We all have somebody to make it home to. And I love seeing all of you in the comments every week. The last thing I would ever want to hear is one of my HVAC brothers and sisters, something happened to you, all right? So be safe. Remember to do the little things, man. Set yourself apart from the next guy or girl, all right? Try to help somebody. I challenge all of you, like what Jimmy and the HVAC Army said they were doing, and like a lot of other people and a lot of us are trying to do is give back to the community, help somebody else. You know, put positivity in the world. That's what you're going to get back. Don't be negative. We all have bad days. Try to build people up, man. Let's give back to this industry that we all love so much, enough to go watch some dude on a podcast. You know what I mean? And remember, always try to be better. There's always ways to learn, whether it's school, online classes, podcasts, videos, whatever it is. Master your fucking craft. Be the best you can possibly be. Always give it 100%. If you're not going to do it 100% of your ability, then just don't fucking do it. All right? And then I challenge all of you to post your stuff on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok. Show your work. Put it out there. Show people that you're one of them people building people up, doing things the right way. I'm not saying you got to be an influencer, but just show that you're one of them people doing things the right way. You're not taking shortcuts, all right? Thank all you guys, man. If I didn't mention you by name in the comments, I apologize. Thank all of you for coming here, man. I really, really do appreciate you guys. I'm trying to have some big giveaways coming up. I know I haven't done one in a little bit. I've been a little behind. You guys know I got a lot going on, but I will do a giveaway here soon and try to give away some big stuff, all right? Thank you, as always, to my moderators that were in here. Mr. Rookie, thank you, brother. I appreciate you. He's always here in the chat doing all the behind-the-scenes stuff for me each and every week. Thank you, buddy. I appreciate you. And then Mr. Adrian was in here, Reliable HVACR, another moderator. I think that was it. I'm not sure. But thank you all for being here. Appreciate you. Have a happy fucking hump day. Enjoy the rest of it. Have a great week. And I'll talk with you mofos next week, Wednesday. Goodbye.
Thanks for listening to the HVAC Uncensored Podcast. Don't forget to check us out on Facebook and Instagram, or email us anytime at hvacuncensored@gmail.com. Now, get back to work. Shut this down. The views and opinions shared on the HVAC Uncensored Podcast may not necessarily be the views and opinions of our sponsors or guests.